Friday night basketball right here on TSN. Our crew, our producer Paul Graham, our director Troy Clara, assisted with Matt Bloom, John Russell, Linda Moore, and Ashley.
Fans, please welcome the starters for your Toronto Raptors! From Meridian Community College, a 6'8" forward, number 33, Mario Moon. From Italy, a 7-foot forward, numero 7, Andrea Bargnani. From Slovenia, a 7-foot center, number 12, Rasha Nastanovic. Out of Bradley, a 6'6" guard, number 18, Anthony Parker. And from Spain, a 6'3" guard, numero 8, Jose Calderon.
So it's the Raptors and the Cavaliers and the starting lineups.
For Cleveland, Devin Brown at the small forward. Jonas Ilgauskas had a tremendous game last week against the Raptors in the middle. Drew Gooden at the power forward against Moon, Nesterovic, and Bargnani. And in the backcourt, you have Daniel Gibson, Sasha Pavlovic, the three-point shooter, against Jose Calderon and Anthony Parker.
Raptors coming off a home court victory over the Memphis Grizzlies in a blowout. As far as the Cavaliers are concerned, they got blown out by Detroit when LeBron James left. In the second quarter, Mike Brown is the head coach of the Cavs.
A defensive-minded coach. That's the focus. If you don't guard, you don't play. Mike Brown has to overcome on offense in this night the absence of LeBron James.
For Sam Mitchell, this is the first of a back-to-back.
Yeah, and for Sam Mitchell, his team, and you have to give Sam Mitchell a lot of credit for this, Chuck. You can put talent on the floor, but Sam Mitchell can absorb losses as good as any coach in this league. No excuses. You put the different bodies on the floor, and they're all ready to go.
Our speed stick 5 men and 24/7 winning strategies.
Well, number one, put pressure on Cleveland's defense by making them work. Don't take the quick shot. Raptors had 25 assists in the first meeting, especially without Chris Bosh. Get that ball swinging. Contest shooters hard. Last Saturday, Cleveland knocked down 13 threes. Gibson, Jones had too many wide open looks. Can't allow that to happen again. And keep Z, the big fella, Ilgauskas, away from the hoop. 16 points, 15 rebounds last week against Toronto.
Andrea Bargnani averaging 11 points on the season, getting a start tonight with Bosh sideline with that groin injury. And Mario Moon, the people's choice, they love him here in Toronto.
Plays with enthusiasm and, Chuck, above all, smarts. You have to love his efficiency when he's on the floor.
And Jose Calderon, he has got some crazy numbers, Leo, the last week.
Gets it done, takes care of the ball, and he's going to have a little relief at the point guard position. TJ Ford ready to go in tonight's game. Unfortunately for Cleveland, not LeBron James.
So we are underway here at the Air Canada Center. And we're going to have a restart.
Now, if you're the Raptors, if there's any time you don't want to see LeBron James play, it might be right now, as well as he's been playing over the last 9-10 games. He's been unbelievable.
The leading scorer in the NBA, averaging 30 points. Where does that 30 points come from, Leo?
Everywhere, Chuck. He gets it done in a variety of ways.
Okay, and without LeBron James, who gets the touches? Is it Ilgauskas?
Well, the problem is not who gets the touches, who creates them. LeBron James is the man that creates them from every position on the floor.
He was brilliant on that draw and kick and a travel by Devin Brown. A turnover for Cleveland.
Remember, when you look at the players on the floor for the Cavaliers right now, you don't really have creators, guys that manufacture shots for themselves or their teammates. LeBron does that. He gets everybody involved in the game. So it'll be interesting to see how the Raptors handle his absence and more so how Cleveland adjusts.
Parker has been on fire, had 19 against the Grizzlies. Bargnani for 3, short, and the long rebound comes out to Pavlovic. Leo was talking about Ilgauskas, who's #1 in the league on offensive rebounds. And he is having a terrific season, and so is that man, Drew Gooden, averaging 19 and 11 in his last 3, shooting 59%. Raptors trying to go over the 500 mark at home. They'll be in Washington, D.C. tomorrow night right here on TSN. Bargnani matched up against Ilgauskas. You've got Gibson taking on Calderon on the wing. Nice pass. Bargnani on a reverse shot block, late whistle, and a foul, and he will get 2.
Well, excellent move by Bargnani. Drew Gooden just stood there, didn't move his feet. Now, whether it's matched up against Ilgauskas or Gooden, Bargnani wants to be aggressive, put the ball on the floor. Good catch, a good baseline move.
So Andrea Bargnani going to the free throw line on the season at 78%. Raptors #1 in the association at 83%. Our first quarter right here on TSN, brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet? You ought to maybe ask LeBron for a loan. He's probably got that wallet on him right now.
Absolutely. It's a big wallet. Actually, the wallet's out back in the truck, Chuck.
Here's LeBron. There's a Fortune magazine story, said his endorsement, $170 million. They said he's on the road to $1 billion athlete. $1 billion, Leo, by the time it's done.
Phenomenal.
Pavlovic for 3, no. And Jamario Moon elevating, that went off Moon out of bounds.
Sam Mitchell just yelled over to him, 2 hands, and you won't have that problem. Get 2 mitts on the ball and pull it in.
Bosch is not on the bench. He's receiving treatment in the locker room on that groin injury sustained the other night against the Grizzlies.
Yeah, and not too serious an injury for Bosch, but something you don't want aggravated and to become serious. So the Raptors taking their time and making sure he heals up.
Cavaliers have missed their first 3 shots. Raptor ball. Bargnani off the bounce. The 15-footer rolls off the iron. And here comes Devin Brown in his first season in a Cavalier uniform. Came over from the Hornets as a free agent. Gooden on a pump and a drive. The pitch out as Devin Brown passed up a 3-point opportunity. And they're going to throw it inside now to Ilgauskas. And he curls and scores.
Yeah, not the prettiest of moves in the post with his back to the basket. Sometimes a little unorthodox, but Ilgauskas still manages to find a way to put it in.
I'd like to see the Raptors go after him defensively. He has committed the second most fouls in the NBA, only to Amari Stoudemire. Jamario Moon, the step back over Pavlovic. Remy, no. Tip, good. Rasho to Sterovic.
And the Raptors could have used Rasho to Sterovic the last time they played Cleveland. He can keep Ilgauskas on his heels. He's going to stay in the low post and look for the garbage points. Nice job on the glass as well.
Raptor basketball with Calderon. He's at the point. Bargnani on a bump and a drive. The pitch out. Calderon from 21.
Trademark of the Toronto Raptors. The drive and kick. Unselfish basketball. Players willing to create for one another.
Cavaliers have won 4 of the last 5 here at the Air Canada Center as Pavlovic with a finger roll off window. What kind of a player is he, Leo?
For a while there, he was considered just a shooter, Chuck, but he's got a good body. He's becoming better defensively. He's a guy that can be physical at that end of the floor if he wants, but offensively, he can really stroke it.
Speaking of guys who can stroke it, how about Anthony Parker? #1 in the league behind the arc at 54%.
And it kind of goes back to what we say about players like Calderon, Delfino. They don't take a lot of bad shots, so it gives you a chance to shoot a great percentage.
That's Pavlovic again. He missed the first 3 games in a contract dispute. We talked about James not in uniform. Anderson Varejao remains unsigned, Leo, and this has got to be one of the longest holdouts we've seen in the NBA. He's really not holding out. He's unsigned, but still.
In the opinion of a lot of people, he's asking for way too much money, Chuck, and it could put not only the Cleveland Cavaliers in a bad situation, but the player himself. I mean, Varejao may end up not playing this season.
All right, well, Leo, let me ask you this. What you've heard, who's going to blink first? I mean, we're already 15 games into the year.
It doesn't look like the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to blink because they feel they've been very fair. They're willing to pay him, but just not outrageous numbers. And for the benefit and health of your franchise, you can't afford to do that if it's not the right thing to do.
So it's an 8-6 ball game. Raptors by 2. Calderon kills his dribble with plenty of time. Bargnani, the 14-footer, off the mark. And this is Pavlovic grabbing the rebound. Bargnani has missed 3 shots. He's 2 free throws have accounted. And that is Jamario Moon with a swat. Boy, Pavlovic just ate some moon. And that's a 3. You can ring it up from downtown Calgary that goes to Adam Andrea.
But you love points that come from your defense. And Jamario Moon, if you're going to go to the basket, you're going to drive against him, you better go strong because he can get up and he's going to throw it out of there.
Gibson to Brown. Ilgauskas had the ball knocked out of his hands out of bounds. How about Jamario Moon? That's 8 straight games, Leo. He's registered a blocked shot.
Well, Chuck, I believe you coined this phrase last game. Pavlovic goes to the bucket, but no, he gets mooned.
Yeah. Wow.
No, come on.
And Parker has fouled Devin Brown. Jamario Moon, what a story. I mean, we come into every arena, Leo, whether it's on the road here, the visiting media, assistant coaches, hey, tell me about Jamario Moon.
Well, how many times have we gone into arenas of the San Antonios, the franchises that have historically just been good, made right decisions, and they'd have a player on their roster going, how come nobody else saw this guy?
Yes.
Where did he come from? The Raptors, in their early years, Chuck, you never saw a player like that. I can honestly say, I've been here since day one watching the Toronto Raptors doing games. Jamario Moon is the first player that's come out of absolutely nowhere to this type of a lofty position where he's had such an impact.
That's right. You need that bonus occasionally.
Yeah, a great job by Colangelo and his staff to find him and give him the opportunity, and he's rewarded them with his play.
Raptors start the ball game 4 of 10. Cleveland 3 of 9. Couple of all-stars sideline with Bosh and LeBron James. Gibson no, the put-back jam. Drew Gooden with some hops, eating some rim.
Got to get on that guy, Chuck. It's one of the areas it's one of the few ways he's going to score unless the Raptors really open up the middle. You've got to keep him off the offensive glass.
Now, Gibson has committed a foul. That's going to be his first. Brian Colangelo, the architect of this team. And he will join Rod Black at halftime on TSN. Bargnani. And a dunk on a baseline drive.
Sam Mitchell looking for the foul as Bargnani went to the bucket. That's the move. We often talk about Chris Bosh. When he's aggressive against players that can't handle him off the dribble, changes the whole game. And that's what Bargnani has to do right now. Not jump shots, attack the hoop. Andrea Bargnani, Gooden, a little casual here, doesn't react to the screen, and Bargnani, excellent job on the baseline.
That was a little matador defense by Gooden as he waved that arm.
And he'll do that. That's the one thing about Gooden, that at times he can be awesome at both ends of the floor. Other times he's napping. He's not quite into the game. And Andrea Bargnani has to recognize that when you're playing against a player like that, force him to be attentive all the time, because chances are he's not going to be.
The officials had to confer because the initial decision was to give that foul to Calderon, but it will go against Jamario Moon. 13-10, Raptors under 6 minutes remaining first quarter, and a kickball, 14 on the clock, and we're going to have a timeout. So we start the ball game at the Air Canada Center, with the Raptors holding a 3-point advantage on TSN. And welcome back. Our Forward Coach's Edge featuring the head coach of the Raptors, Sam Mitchell, a scouting report on the Cavs.
We got to take some charges. I felt like last game we didn't take enough charges, and we had an opportunity with him driving down the lane to step in front of him, so we got to do a better job of that. And if we can score like we did in Cleveland, we can win the basketball game.
Well, no LeBron in this ball game. So Sam Mitchell, obviously you have to adapt a little bit. With LeBron, you got a guy that wants to push the ball up the floor and get into the paint at every opportunity. Once he's in the paint, he's going to score, and he's going to get his teammates great looks. The Raptors, no Bosh. Out with the groin injury, 41 points in the last game against the Cleveland Cavaliers. But the Raptors are built for the long haul, so they can absorb this a lot easier than Cleveland can, not having LeBron James. Don't forget, they also don't have Daniel Marshall,
Larry Hughes,
not in the lineup,
and Varejao.
Exactly.
I mean, those are some pretty good players.
It's huge. I mean, you're talking about a team that went to the NBA Finals. You need those players on the floor.
Gibson had a sparkling series against Detroit in the Eastern Conference Finals. Pavlovic with a one-handed push pass. Gibson over Calderon, book it.
That's a tough shot. He's been shooting the ball very well, not only from 3, but from 2 inside the arc. Doing a good job of looking for a shot.
His confidence has really grown from even a year ago.
Oh, you look at him from the second half of the year through the beginning of the playoffs right through the end. He definitely grew as a player.
Cavaliers are 9-3 without LeBron James over the last 4 years.
Careless pass right there. Nice job by Rasho getting back.
Calderon brings it up with 17 on the clock. Parker on a drive. In the lane, up and good. What a tough shot, Anthony Parker. He's got 7.
That's a little too easy right there, and that's how Cleveland got going last week in Cleveland, by easy shots coming out of transition. The Raptors need to get back after every possession. Now, you saw Anthony Parker go at Sasha Pavlovic, Chuck. Even though we talked about him becoming a better defender, you want to make him work. Don't let him rest up for his offensive possession.
Leo, in a case like this where LeBron James is just going bananas at the start of the year, do players with a tendency of a superstar not on the floor, do they try and do too much to compensate for a loss?
You know, Cleveland's got some guys that have been around a little bit, so I don't think they're going to try to do too much. The problem is, if it's over a longer period of time, you can adjust a little bit better. Gauskas mentioned the D there, the big fella. But in a short-term basis, if it's a game or two, it really throws your team off because he's so dominant and affects every aspect of the game.
Cavaliers with a 1-point lead. Bargnani, the foul line jumper, yes! Street stroke by Andrea Bargnani.
When he gets his legs into it, nice rhythm that time. That shot is money, but defensively, got to get back, try to beat Drew Gooden to the spot so he doesn't pick up the foul. Andrea Bargnani setting a screen. Look at his legs. He's ready. The hands are up. As soon as that ball gets to his hands, sweet rhythm. Releasing the basketball.
And Bargnani picks up his first. We got Damon Jones. Jones and Gibson combined for 9 triples in the Cavaliers' 3-point win over the Raps a week ago in Cleveland.
Andrea Bargnani, as the Raptors turn the ball over, I should say Cleveland turns it over, he turns around, runs down the floor, and you know, that's one of the things that makes any good big man a special big man, when he can run the floor and get down and find opportunities.
Gooden with the send out to Gibson. Gooden on a pump and a shot and a score after Delfino flew by. Gooden with 4 points, and the Cavaliers reclaim a 1-point lead. Calderon with a ball fake all the way to the cup and a score. Calderon is so good turning the corners on both sides of the paint, Leo.
Yeah, he's very good at recognizing the help defense, and he accelerates at the right time when he notices weak side not paying attention.
Gooden is feeling it. Gooden was a guard in high school his sophomore year. Then he grew 6 inches. And that won himself a scholarship at Kansas, where he was a very good player.
Yeah, and again, he's a player. When he comes to play, Chuck, he's a handful.
Delfino, he was ready to catch that ball and knocks it down. Delfino playing very well for the Raptors for the last 5 in double figures.
One word to describe him: fearless. He comes into the game and he tries to make something happen. He'll take charges, he'll take the jump shots, he'll drive. He just comes to play.
They stag off on Gooden, and he draws the foul. You can count it, and continuation. That's just a mature play by Drew Gooden. Jose Calderon in the first quarter with 5 assists. He's got 4 points as Calderon, using the left hand off glass, will return. And the dance pack entertaining a sellout crowd here at the Air Canada Center. Tomorrow, Leo and I will be in Washington, D.C. for the Raptors and the Wizards, 7 o'clock right here on TSN HD, our Gatorade Game X Factor. A couple of players that we're going to focus on, respectively, of the Raptors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Leo Rollins tonight. Well, Leo had to make a decision as far as, all right, what are we going to do here with the Toronto Raptors? And I took Devin Brown, and Leo went for Carlos Delfino.
Interesting, Chuck. I took Devin Brown last week. Notice how you picked up on that. Yeah, Carlos Delfino, not a hard pick. If you want somebody coming off the bench, make something happen, Carlos Delfino is one of those guys getting it done.
And making an appearance after missing 4 games with that left arm.
In first game back, Sam Mitchell put TJ in the starting lineup. And I thought the Raptors lost a little bit of the rhythm. I think very, very wise decision. Let TJ get back in the groove here. Calderon's playing great. Neither of these guys get hung up on the starting. Keep the team, as they're picking up their rhythm, let it roll a little bit.
And T.J. Ford announced to the crowd, gets a nice hand here. And T.J. Ford hands Gibson, his good friend who plays against him in the offseason, just dropped a dime to Jason Capono, a former Cavalier. I'm going to love this matchup with Gibson and Ford, two Texas Longhorns, different eras, of course, but they train and practice against one another in the offseason.
I think Ford's quickness can really disrupt Gibson because he's not a guy that creates a lot of his own shots, so if Ford gets up on him, it could be a problem.
And after an air ball, Ira Newble picks it up, and it popped out.
Jamario got out rebounded, Chuck, but he recovered enough to alter that shot. Tremendous athleticism.
Bargnani with a post-up on Gooden. Turns, shoots. Beautiful move. Andrea Bargnani. And he is feeling it here in the first quarter with 8.
Yeah, nice rhythm again. He's loosened up a little bit. First couple of shots he took looked a little stiff. Now he's got a nice flow.
He's made his last 3 shots. Gooden swings it to Pavlovic. Gibson hides behind a Newble screen and drains a triple. Daniel Gibson with 5. The Cavaliers shooting 55%, but the Raptors at 61%. T.J. Ford in the paint. Nice drop bounce pass to Jamario Moon. Up and good.
Good patience. Again, so many times you'll see an athletic player, Chuck, choose to elevate and try to create a basket, create some sort of shot off balance. This kid doesn't do that. He tries to play within himself, gathered himself, and waited for the opportunity.
Pavlovic with a crossover. Rejected by Moon, but we are going to have a foul. Jamario Moon on an elevator ride to the rim.
Well, the block was clean. It looks like the foul's on Carlos Delfino on the body. I'll tell you what, I thought Delfino just let him go once he got into the lane. That swipe right there didn't look like there was much of a contact, but the officials making the call. Anytime you get a swipe across the body, oftentimes you will get that call. But what a recovery, what a block by Jamario Moon, Chuck. Kid has got some hops.
Oh, does he?
Now see, he's not sticking to his man. He's watching a drive. He's going to get off on a weak side. Very aggressive, very quick to the ball. As a coach, you love a player that won't get stuck to his man. Especially, you got to take a look at who you're guarding. You're guarding Ira Newble. Is he a big threat offensively? Not really. He's a role player that more or less is on the floor to shut people down. So if you're guarding him, don't be glued to him on the weak side. Be ready to help, and that's what Moon did.
Well, the fans love him. He met with season seat holders about an hour and 15 minutes prior to the ball game and really delighted the crowd. He is very popular. Plays with a lot of enthusiasm, and it's really remarkable comeback story from being in the USBL and the CBA and the Globetrotters and the D-League as Gooden misfired on a jump hook. Here come the Raptors down by 1 with 21 seconds to go. Cleveland does have a foul to give. We've got Eric Snow now playing T.J. Ford. See if T.J. can go after Eric Snow at the top of the key. And he fouls him with 6.6 seconds to go. Eric Snow in his 6th game back. He underwent knee surgery in the offseason, and he has not scored a point this year for the Cavaliers. This is an area I think I would be concerned if I'm Danny Ferry, is the point guard position on this team.
Absolutely. That's one of the holes on this team, but Mike Brown fills it normally with LeBron James playing that point forward position where he's handling the ball.
Handling the rock, late first quarter. T.J. Ford, the pull-up, air. And at the end of the first quarter, 28-27 Cavaliers. So LeBron James, a spectator. Chris Bosh, a spectator. He's in the locker room. And the Raptors down by 1 as we go to the second quarter. We'll return on TSN from the Air Canada Center.
Back at the Air Canada Center, first quarter numbers brought to you by President's Choice with Brian Heaney now. Cavaliers up by 1, kind of an even Steven first quarter.
Well, it is, and one of the things the Raptors have to do, Rod, they got to tighten that defense up. This is an opportunity for them to drive the opponent's field goal percentage down. They got Cleveland up at 50%. Their advantage is in the depth. When they started to substitute, you could see that there was an opportunity there, and it may materialize in the second quarter to create distance, but it has to be done on the defensive end of the floor.
Opportunity tonight as well for Andrea Bargnani without Chris Bosh in the lineup. Time for him to step up.
Well, an opportunity for him to get inside a little bit. He made a nice turnaround jump shot off the low block. He can do that. I think he defers to Bosh when Bosh is in the game, but now he can take that outside jumper, keep the defense honest, and flash inside and make some difficulty for Cleveland.
All right, let's go courtside now. Second quarter coming up. Here's Chuck and Leo. Guys?
All right, Rod and Brian, thank you very, very much. Friday Night Bowl here at the Air Canada Center on TSN. Raptors start that second quarter with Capono, Nesterovic, Delfino, Ford, and Moon.
Well, big concern for the Raptors right now. I don't think they have any question as to whether they can score or not. They know they can move the ball and get great shots, but they need stops right now.
And Moon misfires over Newborn, kept alive by Delfino, but this is Eric Snow. Our second quarter on TSN brought to you by the fine folks from MGD. Chuck Swirsky along with Leo Rollins, Rod Black, Brian Heedy, Ilgauskas on Quirks at 18-footer, Moon with the board. I like this matchup for the Raptors with TJ Ford on Eric Snow. Now they got to switch with Newell on Ford. And you've got Moon, and Snow is on him on the right block. And Jamario Moon taking advantage of that length.
Now, how many times you'll see a player in a post-up situation, Chuck, and he'll elect to take a fadeaway and go away from the smaller opponent. Jamario Moon did the right thing. Got a mismatch, go at him. That's why Sam Mitchell keeps him on the floor.
Damon Jones angles off, got away with the carry and threw the ball away. Official Michael Smith says, you know, I'm not playing. I'm just officiating.
But he had a sweet J, though, Chuck.
Yes, he did. And then the Raptors turn it over. Here is Eric Snow. Newell. Devin Brown, he stepped on the sideline out of bounds for the Cavaliers. That is turnover number 4 from Mike Brown, former assistant with the San Antonio Spurs and the Indiana Pacers.
I really like Mike Brown. I think he's a tremendous head coach, Chuck. He's very disciplined in terms of his defense approach. You know, a lot of people have criticized him for their lack of offense, but take a look. I mean, he's done, considering what this team has to, what he has to work with, and the fact that, you know, LeBron James is your main juggernaut of offense, you need some more pieces, and he's done a great job without him.
Now, Leo, you're the head coach of our men's senior program, and people are always saying, how do I get involved in basketball at any level? Mike Brown started his NBA career as a video coordinator with Denver. I mean, he was working in the sweatshop, so to speak.
Well, I can't tell you the number of people in very, very high NBA positions that have started with jobs like that, Chuck. It's a willingness to get involved, a willingness to learn the game from people above you and around you, and wait for that opportunity.
And
he is being ready when that opportunity comes.
Absolutely. Good point. Damon Jones, Eric Snow, and we have Joe Forte with a call. TJ Ford trying to politic for a travel, and he got it. Well, we had to hesitate. We didn't know if it was a foul or a travel. TJ came out and did the whirl arms. In other words, saying that was a travel. I'm not sure that was a travel.
Well, if you're not going to call a foul, there was definitely a little half step in there. But TJ Ford, he's working on the officiating during his time off, Chuck. Thought he did a real good job there. Nice pass.
Nice bounce pass blocked by Zydrunas Ilgauskas.
Getting his old teammate, Jason Capono.
Oh, that's off the mark. And here we come with the Raptors going with TJ Ford at the point. 29-28 Raps. Ford brings it out. He wants to create some space. He's guarded by David Jones with 10 on the clock. And a crossover in the paint to the cup. And he lost the handle, recovers. 5 on the shot clock. Capono from 13. Get it!
Oh, Raptors fortunate. Get a recovery there and find the right guy. There's a loose ball right now. Give it to Capono because he'll bury it. He's been on fire.
And in the books, it goes down as an assist to TJ Ford.
That's right. He'll take it.
And it's one and done for the Cavaliers. Now shooting 44%. Delfino fires up a jumper.
I like that move, Chuck. You go at the defender. You're coming down in transition. You put the ball on the floor right at him. He's backpedaling. There's no way he can stop and contest the shot.
Raptors have scored all 6 points here in the second period. Brown against and puts it into the hands of Ilgauskas. Nesterovic came over, and Zdrunas Ilgauskas with a banker.
You know, we talked about Ilgauskas last week. He just looks better than ever right now. His body looks good. He's moving well. And I talked to some of the staff from Cleveland. So what did he do in the offseason? Hung out in the Riviera. I was expecting to hear about this rigorous training schedule. So bottom line is this, Chuck, whatever works.
Whatever works. Well, what's ever working for T.J. Ford off the bench tonight? Scoreless, but he has 3 assists. And after he recovered, he found a wide open Jason Capoto. Upcoming games right here on Raptors basketball. We'll be in Washington tomorrow night on TSN, and then Rogers Sportsnet with the Bobcats on Monday, and then Steve Nash right here on TSN Wednesday, and the high-flying Phoenix Suns. Ask the Expert, brought to you by Fido. And Leo Rollins is the main man. He is our expert. And Leo, there's a lot of conjecture as far as what's an assist, what's not an assist, who gets a rebound if there's a deflection and somebody secures it. How's it go in the stat sheet?
Well, pretty simply, a pass that leads to the basket. Now, the one question you have is if a player puts it on the floor. And the way the NBA looks at it, Chuck, if it's a continuous move to the basket, if I give you the pass and you put the ball on the floor without having to evade another defender, that's an assist. Also, if you throw it out ahead and there's nobody behind, nobody in front of you, and you take 1 or 2 dribbles for a layup, that can be assist as well. But the bottom line is it's a pass that leads to the basket, not a pass to you, and then you create your own move afterwards. Now, a couple of things on that, Chuck. You know what I'd love to see in the NBA?
I want to get into a debate about this.
Well, you know what I'd love to see in the NBA? In hockey, you have the pass that leads to the assist. That creates an interest in making the right play.
But how would you do that with the books, though, Leo?
Yeah, I know. That's where it's an issue.
From yesteryear.
But if I give you a pass, you get fouled. If you make one of the 2 free throws, I think the player should get an assist for giving you the ball.
Okay, and I'm just going to follow this up, and we'll tie it and move on. I think scorers tables in different leagues interpret assists differently.
Oh, absolutely.
Scott Skiles got 30 assists and holds the record for an NBA 30.
Hey, Chuck, I used to play against Magic Johnson and look at the assist totals after the game. It was amazing how they'd be padded. That's the way it is. There's not much you can do about it. You'd like it to be fair across the board, but again, getting last point that if I give you a great pass, you get fouled, I should get an assist if you make at least 1 free throw.
Delfino 3-ball, bam! Carlos Delfino with a triple. And Delfino off the bench with 70, and Capoto have combined for 13. They've outscored Newell, the only Cavalier reserve to score, 13-2.
Well, Delfino came into the season realizing how important it was for his career. He knew that he had to make a statement this season, playing for the Raptors, coming from Detroit where he didn't get the minutes he wanted, and boy, is he making the most out of it.
T.J. Ford tried to flip that baby in, and he's 0 for 3. He does have 4 assists. And Cleveland will go to the foul line. So T.J. Ford coming back from injury as Calderon has returned for T.J. Ford.
Delfino looking for his opportunity, staying wide, spacing out as that ball comes up, always ready to shoot it. That's half the battle. Preparation before that ball gets to you. And I also like the spacing, Chuck. It's so important to stay wide. Allow your teammates opportunities to create and get into spots. It'll only come back to you for open looks.
Bargnani has returned for Rusho Nesterovic, who leaves with a couple of boards and 2 points. Bargnani with 8 points in the ball game. Raptors shooting 59% against this Cavalier team. And the Cavs shooting a very respectable 46%.
Well, at the end of the first quarter, they were over 50%, so the Raptors doing a better job tightening up. I still think they need to do a little bit more at the defensive end.
Calderon, Bargnani, 3-ball. Got it. His foot was on the line, so give him a 2.
And what a difference. After he had missed his first couple of shots, he has just been lighting it up, Chuck. Good footwork, much like we talked about Delfino. It's the preparation before that ball gets to you that makes the difference.
Devin Brown for 3. Nope. Offensive putback. Good. Nope. Rebound Bargnani. And it's Calderon. Calderon with 43 assists in his last 13 quarters with only 3 turnovers. 43 assists in the last 13 quarters, Leo.
Amazing numbers.
And Moon comes up with the ball And he was undercut in the foul on the Cavs.
Jamario Moon working very hard in the paint to try to get a look. Here trying to get behind the defense. Eye contact with Calderon, able to get the lob. Newbook with the foul. Now with the lineup on the floor, what you have is Jamario Moon playing the 4 spot. And Sam Mitchell's been very comfortable putting him there because of that athleticism that he possesses.
3 ball. Yes! Another one nylon. Jamario Moon.
Oh, by the way, you just put your 4-man out in the wing and knock down a jump shot right in somebody's mugs. That tells you how good this guy is.
He's got 7 points, 5 boards, a 16-6 second quarter run for the Raptors, who lead by 9. This is their biggest margin of the ball game. Cavs playing without a ton of players, including the #1 scorer in the league, and LeBron James. Raps without Bosh. Triple coming up for the Cavs. No. Those shots were volleyed in Cleveland. And the Raptors with Jose Calderon. Calderon sealed off of the baseline, brings it out to Bargnani. We have 5.5 minutes to go first half on TSN. Calderon beats Pavlovic off the dribble, hits the floor to charge on Jose Calderon. So Jamario Moon and the Raptors up 43-34. As Moon popped out, said, "You're going to give me that shot? I'm going to take it." And welcome back on TSN. And coming up next, right here on TSN, it's Molson. That's hockey, hosted by Gino Retta on TSN. With the Raptors, they have more depth than perhaps any team in the NBA, and there's some pretty good benches before.
See that conversation? Hey, I got the shot over here. I saw you. No, I got the shot over here. Both of these guys, they're on the floor. They're in range, and a characteristic shared by both of these players, and actually throw Anthony Parker into that mix as well, is they take good shots. They're not afraid to just sit out. They're not the type of guys that are going to sit outside and just take 3-point shots. Numbers on the season pretty close to the same. Capona shooting a little bit better from the field and from 3, but overall, I think you see Delfino getting more comfortable as this season goes along.
Was that a seamless transition coming over from Miami and Detroit, respectively? I mean, they play like they've been here for a couple, 3 years, Leo.
Well, I think when you look at Delfino's, maybe the better or more impressive adjustment, simply because, watch out, they'll gamble there by Calderon, a rare turnover.
I mean, Jamario can jump on.
Yeah. And Raptors don't recover off that pass. But, getting back to the point that Delfino didn't have a lot of play, Chuck. So confidence-wise, I'm impressed with what he's done. Whereas Capona had a great year for Miami. So he's coming to Toronto with a high, just adjusting to a different style.
There you go, Carlos Delfino. Leo, no wonder you're the expert.
We had a great opportunity playing against him this summer. He was playing for Argentina, and I just really liked his game. He's just a hard-nosed player, and any guy that plays for that Argentine system, Chuck, they just know the game. They understand how to play basketball.
Gibson working against Calderon on the left baseline. Contact and a very late. You talk about a late whistle.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if Joe Forte was waiting to see if that basket was going to be made.
The reality is, Chuck, you're not supposed to wait to see if a shot goes in. It's a foul or it's not a foul.
But
you could easily make a call on that. There was contact with the body, but if you look at watch Moon, watch Bargnani, they go straight up. They went straight up. They didn't reach, and all the contact by the offensive player Gibson, who really had nowhere to go. In my opinion, that's a no call.
Well, Sam Mitchell agrees with you. And so this will put Gibson at the free throw line for Moon. That's his second foul. Raptors shooting 63%. Nastarovich is coming in. Moon leads with 7 points, 5 rebounds in 19 minutes.
That 63% is one of the reasons why that rare turnover by Calderon, you don't need to take any chances. You're going to get a good shot every time down the floor. So
it's 46-38. Raptors with 4:14 to play first half. Don't forget, coming up at the half, our Capital One at the half, it's going to be Rod Black sitting down one-on-one with Brian Colangelo. Bargnani sets a screen. You got a switch now with Devin Brown playing Andrea on the right block. He turns, shoots, and missed. Rebound by Drew Gooden, and snaps the outlet pass to Gibson. Gibson fires it. Devin Brown bobbled the ball and lost it. Took his eye off it. I think he had visions of going into the rim. And for the Cavaliers, that's their 4th turnover of the quarter. They've got 6 on the night. They try and trap Calderon on the elbow. Bargnani lowers the head to the rim, up, out, and we have a blocking foul against Ilgauskas.
Andrea Bargnani. Let's see what he does in this situation. Looking for that shot. Puts that ball on the floor. The players have a feel, Chuck. As he caught the ball, he didn't really look at Gooden, but you can feel a player vertical, standing up, coming at you, not in defensive position. And as soon as Andrea got it, he just took it right into the paint, and that's exactly what he needs to do.
And that's a rare miss for Bargnani at the free throw line. Andrea in double figures. In fact, the Raptors have 2 players in double figures, with Bargnani with 10, Delfino with 10. He goes 0 for 2 from the stripe. Raptors are 2 of 4 from the foul line, and Cleveland an uncharacteristic 9 for 9. They're one of the 4 free throw shooting teams in the league. Good matched up against Bargnani. Turning, shooting, and Rainbow, nope. Rebound Andrea.
One of the areas that not having Bosch really hurts the Raptors in, Chuck, is our free throws. I mean, the Raptors do not get to the line very much. They're one of the worst teams in the league in terms of numbers at the line. But Bosch, when they do get there, he's the main guy.
That's right. Raptors averaging only 20 free throws per ball game, and Bosch is averaging 8 per game. So you remove him from the lineup, and that ball was deflected, and it went off the Raptors out of bounds. And we're going to have a timeout. So Delfino with 10 and Bargnani with 10. In fact, the Raptor reserves have outscored Cleveland's bench 16-2. And it's Friday night. A lot of families here at the Air Canada Center, our Capital One at the half. Rod Black will sit down with Brian Colangelo, the State of the Raptors address after the first 15 games, Sports Center update, and of course Brian Heaney with his analysis right here on TSN. Raptors have outscored the Cavs 19-10 here in the second quarter. Chuck Swirsky along with Leo Rollins will be in Washington, D.C. tomorrow on TSN for the Wizards and the Raptors. So no Bosch, no LeBron James, but the Cleveland ball club decimated with core group players. No James, no Hughes, no Varejao.
Well, and they just can't go very deep. You made the point right before the break, Chuck. Just 2 points in this game coming off the Cavaliers bench.
And they can't finish. They've had some pretty good looks, too, near the iron. 23% here in the second quarter. They're down to 40 on the night. Delfino to the rim. Beautiful move. Carlos Delfino.
Perfect in this game. 12 points in 14 minutes, 5 of 5.
He is in a nice rhythm over the last week. Getting extended playing time and making the most of it. Pavlovic. And we have a foul against the Raptors. A couple of players were there. This will go against Jose Calderon, his second.
Nice thing, too, with Delfino, Chuck. He's a gritty player. He's a tough guy, very tough-minded guy. But he's not out there pounding his chest and being very visible in that regard. But don't mess with this guy. He comes to play.
His body language, Leo, he doesn't have too emotional. I mean, I've never seen him emotional at all. It's never high, never low.
Yeah, very calm and cool. He's all about doing his job.
Ford has replaced Calderon. Gooden swings it to Damon Jones. Jones. Pocket ball from Pavlovic, and he can shoot that 3.
I mean, when you look at the shooters, maybe not so much Daniel Gibson, but Damon Jones and Sasha Pavlovic, percentages are very, very different when they have to create their own shot or put on the floor, and that's why Sam Mitchell wants the Raptors to really run out on him. Oh, my.
Delfino in the zone. For the Raptors, they are 5 of 6 behind the arc. Delfino with 15 first-half points. He had 14 in the first half Wednesday night against Memphis. And Parker tried to keep that ball in play after a deflection. So you've got Parker, Bargnani, Ford, Nesterovic, and Delfino. Delfino 6 for 6 on the night. Gibson, Ilgauskas with 5 on the clock. Pavlovic with a pretty spin. And he will go to the line shooting 2.
Toronto's number 12, Russell Nesterovic, with his second foul of the game against team foul number 4 for Raptors.
This will go against Nesterovic, number 2 on Rasho.
Number 3, Pavlovic going to the free throw line for the Cavaliers, 2 shots.
Pavlovic. Nice strong move. He's a player. He's much more athletic than people give him credit for. He can get up off the floor. He doesn't seem to mind the contact too much as well, as we saw going to the basket.
Chris Humphries gets an opportunity to play for the first time tonight, replacing Nesterovic. So Sam Mitchell going to his bench. We've seen Delfino, Ford, Capono, Humphries. Pavlovic in double figures, the first Cavalier in that department, with Calderon and Moon looking on. A 51-42 ball game. Raptors in front. They're 4-4 at home. Delfino swallowed away by Gooden.
Did the right thing though, Chuck. Went up there, tried to dunk that ball. Gooden made a great play.
Gooden whips it up top. Gibson for 3. Nope. Tip. Nope. Second attempt. Good. Drew Gooden.
Gooden has been on the glass all game thus far. 6 boards. And really doing the job on the offensive board. Raptors have to make sure they put a body on. Start to get physical with him.
Cleveland hanging around, trailing by only 7. Andrea Bargnani out of control. And Gooden with the outlet to Damon Jones. Jones waits for Gooden to arrive. Jones over the shoulder. Gooden passed up a shot. Now elects to take it and makes it.
Well, he has been the man for the Cavaliers. 13 points to go along with those 6 rebounds we talked about.
Well, we gave you those stats, Leo, over the last 3 games. 19 and 11, 59% from the floor. Here's Ford. Darting inside, the pitch out, Bargnani for 3. Get out the umbrellas, Leo. It's Rady Trays here in Toronto. The Raptors 6 of 7 behind the arc. Andrea Bargnani with 13. Damon Jones got it, and they're going to review it.
Damon Jones for 3.
And we go into halftime, 54-49, as the officials will go to the scorers table to look at Damon Jones' triple as time expired. TJ Ford with 6 assists, Calderon with 7. And Leo Routon standing by with a guest on Andrea Bargnani.
Andrea, tremendous first half. Does it matter to you whether you start or come off the bench? Because you look comfortable in either role.
I mean, it's the same last year. I always start from the bench, so it's supposed to do no difference.
How much is this season just being more comfortable in your surroundings, in Canada, in Toronto, making a difference for you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I know already the city. I know my teammates better because I played with them already 1 year, so it's more easy.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Andrea Bargnani, 13 points in the first half.
And a big reason, Leo, thank you, for the Raptors leading 54-49, shooting 6 of 7 behind the arc. Halftime, 54-49, Raps in front. We're joined by the assistant coach, the Hall of Famer, Alex English. Alex, all things considered, no Bosch, no James. How do you think the flow of the game is going?
Well, I thought we did a pretty good job of playing defense early in the game. We've got to tighten our defense up down the stretch. We can get more fast break points. We didn't push the ball up like we can on this team, and that's what we're going to be looking to do in the second half.
Nice job from Andrea Bargnani being a little bit more aggressive. Started a little slow, but then picked it up.
Yeah, and we've got to get points from him. CB's out. We've got to get some scoring from him. He's just got to slow it up a little when he's going to the hole.
All right, Alex, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All righty.
All right, that's Alex English joining us halftime as the Raptors went to the line only once in the first half. As far as one player is concerned, that was Bargnani. He went 2 for 4, Leo. Cavs went 10 of 11. Our halftime stats brought to you by Capital One.
The Raptors doing a great job shooting the ball. 59%, 6 of 7 from 3. Cavaliers 3 of 10. The Cavaliers did a good job at the free throw line, and also out rebounding Toronto by 4. But the assists, 17 to 8. Raptors only 5 turnovers to those 17 assists.
LeBron James sitting this one out with a sprained left index finger, and they're hoping maybe to get him back for the Boston game on Sunday. And our winning strategies presented by Speed Stick, 5 minutes, 24/7.
Talking about putting pressure on the Cleveland defense by moving that ball, making the extra pass. Well, 17 assists, 59% field goal shooting is outstanding. Contest shooters hard. Cleveland 3 of 10 from 3. Raptors did a much better job in the second quarter in that department, and keep Z away from the hoop. He's been quiet, Chuck, after that big game in Cleveland last week. 6 points, just 3 rebounds so far.
So Calderon along with Parker and Nesterovic. You've got Moon and Bargnani. That's your lineup for Sam Mitchell. Third quarter against the Cavaliers. Anthony Parker feeding the post. Bargnani, the pitch out. Moon wide open 3-ball. And it's Drew Gooden with a rebound. Gooden with 7 boards go along with 13 points. Gibson with 9 first half points. Ilgauskas had a very quiet first half. Pavlovic did a nice job shooting the rock. And Devin Brown works off a Ilgauskas screen and promptly turns it over.
You can see they're looking for somebody to create, somebody to initiate the offense. Just not happening.
Nesterovic, the looping pass accepted by Andrea Bargnani. And there's Chris Bosh, got some treatment in the first half, and we have a 3-second violation against Toronto. Bosh, his availability for tomorrow's game, a question mark right now. Maybe on the safe side, Leo, what do you think, Monday against the Bobcats?
Yeah, my guess, Raptors will probably hold him out for at least a couple of games here, and LeBron James day-to-day as well. Early in the season, Chuck, you want to make sure your stars are ready to go for the long haul, and you don't take any chances. You don't need to at this point.
No, not at this point with 67 games to go. Pavlovic comes off the screen short, and there's Andrea Bargnani hauling it in. That's his 4th rebound. Moon leads in that department tonight with 5. Parker with the fade. 54-49, Toronto. This is the second of 4 meetings this season between the two teams. Gooden. Good defense by Bargnani, not leaving his feet. We have 5 on the shot clock. Gibson, Devin Brown, and he buries it.
Well, nice job by Gibson to create a shot for his teammate. You really want to be careful. Do you want see if Gibson can go to the basket, dare him to drive and attack. Don't be so willing to help on that drive.
Gorgeous stroke by Andrea Bargnani. When you see that ball in the rotation and spin off the release, Leo?
Well, great shooters do a great job of putting that spin. And what does that do, Chuck? Arc and spin, give that ball a chance. Anytime it's near the rim, it's going to have an opportunity to go in, and that's all you want to do.
Cavaliers now with 8 turnovers. Anthony Parker, speaking of rotation, that was the beauty of the old ABA, the league that was formed in the 70s with that red, white, and blue ball. Hyundai bringing you third quarter action because the fans really got a chance to see how skilled some of these outside shooters are.
Well, you see it now with the FIBA ball, a little different, has some colors in it, which make it a little easier to see that. Jamario Moon again with a block.
Devin Brown just got mooned. Andrea Bargnani deep 3. Oh, no! And we have timeout. Cleveland set up by a big-time swat from Jamario Moon, leading to a triple by Andrea Bargnani, and the Raptors' 7th of the ball game.
Well, 2 of the Raptors' baskets in this game have come off Jamario Moon block shots. Sets it up, and Bargnani, long jumper.
Bargnani with a game-high 18. Raptors have extended their lead to 10 at 61-51. And Bargnani and Moon, I'd say they've been pretty good tonight, Leo.
No doubt about that. Andrea Bargnani, a trailer, 7-foot trailer. Give him the ball, and he will bury it. Leaving that arm up there, you know he's feeling good. When you leave that hand hanging up there, and that block shot by Jamario Moon. As we've said so far in this early season, Chuck, if you're going to drive against Moon, you better go hard. You better take it strong because he's going to block it. 7 points for Moon. Bargnani, 18 already. And good percentages for both, and both working the glass a little bit as well.
Moon with a couple of blocks already in the ball game. Bargnani took advantage of Bosch being inactive with that groin situation. Andrea has attempted 13 field goals. He's the only Raptor to go to the foul line tonight with 4 attempts.
Well, you want Andrea Bargnani. With Bosch not in the game, you want somebody to step up and be aggressive. And Bargnani has done that. He's come out of this game with definite approach to take shots, be aggressive, look for your offense. And Delfino off the bench has done the same in the absence of the big fella, Chris Bosch. Meantime,
the Cavaliers have committed yet another turnover. That's number 9 in the ball game. Calderon once again very efficient running the half-court set. Here's Parker. He missed the runner. Anthony Parker is 4 of 7 with 9. Pavlovic swings it. Gooden. A slow developing half-court set. Pavlovic cranks it up from 3.
Sam Mitchell yelling, switch in that screen. You got a shooter like Pavlovic and a couple of forwards. Switch on it and don't give up a shot.
Cleveland needs to run their offense, Leo.
Well, that's an issue, Chuck. You know, Daniel Gibson is not a true point guard. He's much better getting shots off of LeBron James passes than he is getting the offense in gear.
Nesterovic doing a terrific job on Zydrunas Ilgauskas. And blocked by Andrea Bargnani.
That's great help there. It all starts with Nesterovic and Bargnani with the finish.
Rasha Nesterovic is fouled by Ilgauskas.
Now, Chuck, last week, Ilgauskas had a monster game against the Raptors. Yes, there's no LeBron James, but tonight, Bargnani able to help out the pressure that Nesterovic is putting on Ilgauskas. It's changing the way Ilgauskas can move. When you get help from a guy like Bargnani, a 7-footer, when he's got pressure already from the 7-footer Nesterovic, that changes the game dramatically for a player like Ilgauskas.
Ilgauskas, 6 points, 3 boards. He had a double-double, as Leo mentioned, against the Raptors.
A big double-double. I mean, 16-15. And, you know, again, obviously LeBron James moves people. He shifts people. He creates openings and opportunities that Ilgauskas is not getting in this game. But the Raptors don't have to make excuses for that. They put Nesterovic on him right now and say, hey, we're going to take everything you want away.
Raptors up by 12. I'd like to see them put the hammer on Cleveland in this quarter. Daniel Gibson draws the foul and will shoot 2.
A little quicker call this time when Gibson goes to the bucket. I like what he's doing. He did this in the first half. He's going in. He's not a big guy. He's not a great leaper, but go into the body of the help defender.
Nesterovic picks up his 3rd. Hyundai, think about it. What 2 former Raptors head coaches were head coaches in Cleveland? So you can think about that. We'll have the answer later. So Daniel Gibson with 11, the 3rd starter in double figures for Mike Brown's Cleveland Cavaliers, who check in with a record of 9-7, 5-4 on the road. Calderon with 9 assists. He's headed for double-digit assist game. Remarkable. Parker slashes inside and turns it over. Gooden against Bargnani. Gooden keeping the rock alive, running on the baseline with a reverse pretty move. Drew Gooden. He's got 15.
Yeah, nice hesitation. Went to baseline, looked like he might pull it back and continued. But Andrea's just got to learn to stay down on a play like that and not let a player back into the hoop like Gooden.
Bargnani, swarming defense around Andrea. Moon swings it. Washoe back to Jamario Moon. Free ball. Hit back rim. And there's Gooden. And that's another double-double for Drew Gooden. That is his 8th on the season, continuing his superb play over the last 2 weeks.
I just like his effort on the glass. He's really trying to get to the offensive, defensive board every opportunity. Nice job by your Gatorade player.
You see how he used that right hand and went to his left? A little like Michael Jordan.
Oh man, you're trying to sell.
No, I'm
you're
just
trying
saying
to sell
he
a
went right
Gatorade
to
that
left.
bad, comparing Devin Brown to Michael Jordan.
No, I said the play where he switches hands. Not as spectacular.
Didn't see it. Didn't see it.
Sam Mitchell concerned. Raptors lead down to 6. And we welcome you back to the Air Canada Center. The Raptors' 6th sellout of the season, 19,800. Our Hyundai, think about it. What 2 former Raptor coaches, also the head men in Cleveland.
All right. I'm going to go way down. I'm going to dig deep, Chuck.
Okay.
Brendan Malone.
Yes.
And Lenny Wilkins is the easy one. And there, you see that guy standing right there, back to the camera, is Michael Malone, Brendan Malone's son. And I had and I'll say this, Chuck, the privilege of having Michael Malone assist me with the Canadian basketball national team this past summer. And he is a tremendous coach. I always said Brendan Malone, when he got hired with the Toronto Raptors, was born to coach. Everything about him is coach. And Mike Malone is a chip off the old block. He is an unbelievable tactician and just great rapport with the players. And talking to Mike Brown, Danny Ferry, they love having him on their bench.
I learned a lot from just watching him when he was with the Knicks, when he'd come out 2-3 hours prior to a ball game.
Oh, he's a very diligent worker, Chuck. He'll stay up all night, watch tape, and do whatever it takes.
And Jamario Moon flying up and away, and he got fouled. And you could anticipate with the crowd, they want him to go off and just yank that rim off the window.
Sam Mitchell has told everybody there's a lot more to this kid's game than you've seen at this point. He's had some pretty good games, but Sam Mitchell feels that his offense is even more explosive than we've seen.
Don't forget about the amazing race. The teams continue on their 28-day race around the world. Watch a new episode of The Amazing Race Sunday at 8, 7 Central on CTV. You never know, maybe The Amazing Race, they're going to fly it to the moon. The only thing we need now is Jack Armstrong singing Fly Me to the Moon.
It won't be me, I can promise you that.
Well, you've got Nesterovich leaving as Moon going to the free throw line with Parker, Calderon on the floor, Andrea Bargnani, and Delfino.
I'm still going back to what we talked about the other night. You said Moon needs a nickname? I think that's a great name.
Well, you know what, Leo?
No, that's a built-in nickname right there.
The fans have been great. I get probably close to 300 emails a day. And today on the talk show here in Toronto, we took 1 hour. Fans love this guy.
Absolutely. But I think, again, Moon, look at all the ways you described what he does on the floor, just using his name.
65-57. Raptors. Here is Calderon off the Bargnani screen on a switch. This is what we saw a lot in the first half with Devin Brown playing Bargnani. Calderon the pull-up. Jose Calderon. He's got 6 points to go along with 3 boards and 9 assists. Raptors maintain their 10-point lead. Good. Calderon just toying with Gooden. Up, counted foul. Jose Calderon. He's got that little shimmy, the shake and bake.
Well, it made it tough for Gooden as he made his last shot. He's got his head up. That's the key. His head is up. You don't know what he's going to do. And when he puts the ball on the floor, he angles in. He gets the body to get the foul. And just incredible numbers, Chuck. Assist to turnover leaders, not even close. Antonio Daniels, a distant second.
And he leads the NBA in that department. He has just gotten better and better over the years. That rookie year, a little inconsistent, coming over from Europe, really not knowing what to expect with the NBA game. A lot of turmoil in that first year. That's a three by Gibson, but he has really settled in.
Well, a lot of people thought Jose Calderon couldn't shoot the ball. That was one of the remarks you heard from fans, coaches. Hey, the guy can't shoot. He could shoot. He just didn't know when he should shoot, when he should pass. Now that he's in the comfort zone, when does he make the wrong decision?
To Mario Moon. And he threw it away. And it's Gibson. And Devin Brown got poked in the left eye inadvertently, but it is a foul on Calderon. That's his third.
Well, again, getting comfortable is the key. Big adjustment coming over in the 05-06 season. A lot better last year, and as the season went along, he got better and better, and he has just come into his own this year. And the experience he has playing for the Spanish national team in the summer, Chuck, that just gives him additional confidence. And a player that you could use that same comparison to is Steve Nash. I mean, there were a lot of years in the NBA that he was struggling in developing his game, but his summer ball for Canada really helped keep his confidence up.
And Nash will be here Wednesday with the Phoenix Suns. Meantime, Gibson starting to cook. He's got 17. 70-63. These pesky Cavaliers won't go away.
That's where the Raptors can't relax defensively. You want to close the team out, it's got to be done at the defensive end.
Andrea Bargnani, very strong to the cup. And you like to see this out of this young man.
Well, you've made the example of Chris Bosh, Chuck, at times where he just puts the ball, tucks it in, and goes strong. That time, Andrea Bargnani finally got tired of people hanging on him and banging him left and right. Tuck the ball in, put the ball on the floor strong. Every once in a while, Chuck, you just got to be aggressive, get a hold of that ball, and look for contact. Go in there strong. And Andrea, when he does that, he's very good. And he can get to the free throw line. Plus, the guy can make free throws, so he should try to get to the line.
Leo, I want to make an observation. I want you to tell me what's going on. Before his appendectomy, we saw Andrea Bargnani last year play with a swagger, a chip, an edge. Have we seen that this year? And if not, why not?
I think we've seen it off and on. I think initially, you know, the starting, then not starting. I think the adjustments to the lineup because of that. Now that he's settled in, you're starting to see a little bit more of that swagger. Remember, this is still a young kid. He's still understanding and learning the game, just like a lot of young kids. He should still be a sophomore in college.
Drew Gooden just battling for that rebound, and it's Delfino who comes out with it. Delfino with 15, all 15 points coming in the first half. 72-63 Raptors. Calderon working on a 9-point, 9-assist night. Calderon against Pavlovic, the 19-footer. Yes! Nothing but nylon. Jose Calderon. He's a perfect 5 for 5 from the floor.
If I'm Sam Mitchell, I'm encouraging Calderon to look for that shot, look for his drive. At times he doesn't go for it because he's trying to be unselfish, but oh, what a rebound there. Moon coming out of nowhere.
That's his 8th rebound. Delfino left unattended, 3 ball, too strong. Raptors are 7 of 10 behind the arc. Gibson tried to turn the corner on Calderon, and they swing it on the elbow to Damon Jones. Sasha Pavlovic with a reach-in foul. Good call. And this will go against Carlos Delfino, his second.
Number 25 is Delfino in his second foul of the game against team foul number 3. Substitution.
TJ Ford coming in for Jose Calderon. And Jamario Moon with 9 points, 8 boards.
We've seen the Raptor coaches telling this kid, Jose Calderon, look for your shot. Don't be afraid to step up. Be a little selfish. Sometimes when you got the hot hand and you got the advantage, being selfish is good for your team because it's going in. It's going to go in.
Snow. And a foul.
Not a guy you want to put on the line. Snow has enough trouble making shots without giving them easy free throws.
Yeah, when he came out of Michigan State, he could not hit a free throw to save his life. He played with a former Raptor, Sean Respert.
Yeah, I remember Sean.
And they were a tremendous backcourt in the Big Ten. And Eric Snow was a second-round pick. Respert, of course, was a number 1 pick by the Bucks.
And a former Raptor as well.
And stay tuned. TSN immediately following the game for a special edition of Molson That's Hockey, hosted by Gino Reda. Eric Snow in the books for the first time this season. This is his 6th game.
Chuck, we're also seeing TJ Ford now struggled a little bit in the first half. Adjusting, he did have 6 assists, which is pretty impressive considering he played 11 minutes. But TJ Ford struggled a little bit with his shot, and that's normal. You know, you miss a few games, and there's also a little bit of pressure, and it's not that it's a bad thing. But Calderon playing as well as he's been playing certainly puts a little heat on Ford, but Calderon handled it off the bench. Now it's up to Ford to handle it in his role.
74-64 Raptors. You got Newble playing Andrea Bargnani. Turns, shoots, rimming, no. Less than 2 minutes remaining, 3rd quarter. Gibson with a charge. Delfino took it. Carlos Delfino, solid positioning underneath the window.
Substitution for Toronto, number 18, Anthony Barker returns. He's in for number 7.
Delfino, Chuck, always looking to step in, take a charge, every opportunity he can.
Bargnani going to the bench. Parker finds Jamario Moon to the rack, and they are going to wave it off. Traveling on Jamario Moon, and as soon as he put that extra step, Mike Brown tried to encourage the officials. He was not going to let Moon go bananas.
And not a popular call here at the Air Canada Center.
No.
Fans waiting for Moon to explode.
Delfino with the ball. Parker. And this is going to be a charge.
Yeah, tough pass. Parker had very little time to catch and try to make a play out of it, but Moon, the fake goes in, and officials caught him with that little extra step. But look at the hops on this guy. Doesn't need a lot of time to just take off.
I love that rockabye baby dunk where he brings it back, cocks it, and throws it down.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. He just rocks it. Leo, I'll tell you what, he is fun to watch. And Moon kept that ball alive. This is TJ Ford against Newble. And he turned it over.
Well, one of the things that happened last year, Chuck, remember when Chris Bosh got hurt early? He watched his team and he saw the movement and said, I'm not going to slow our team down. TJ Ford has got to take a look and see what's been working for the Raptors and realize at times a little less dribbling, it's going to be more effective and really take advantage of his quickness when he just goes at people.
74-64 Raptors. Delfino had a pass off, and he's pushed, and a foul on the Cavaliers. This will go against Pavlovic.
That is his first personal foul of the game. Team foul.
And for Pavlovic, his first. And this is going to the free throw line for Carlos Delfino at 15 first half points. Sam Mitchell, his team, 55% shooting on the night. Cavaliers are down to 40%. If you just joined us, no Bosh, no James.
And if you did just join us, we talked about off the top how LeBron James, first of all, Bosh, great player, but the Raptors have the depth to absorb his absence. For Cleveland, with the injuries they have right now and the lack of depth in his team, and then for a guy that really controls every aspect of the game, he's a walking triple-double. They just can't handle not having him on the floor, especially if it's a 1 or 2 game absence. There's no time to adjust to not having a guy that controls every aspect.
We're down to 3 seconds remaining. Eric Snow. And on the pass off, he is fouled. We're down to 1.4 seconds. And this is going to put the Cavs at the free throw line. This will go against Delfino, his third.
The situation for both teams. Going to the line for the Cavaliers, number 20, Eric Snow, shooting 1+1 over 2.
10 o'clock Eastern time at Sports Center On TSN, Touchy and Jennifer, they've got you covered with all the highlights of the NBA, the National Hockey League. And it's a busy sports weekend as well with the National Football League. 76-65.
Watch the game last night.
Yeah.
Cowboys and the Packers.
Boy, the Raps caught a break big time. But Jamario Moon with a 9-rebound, 9-point performance in 31 minutes. Raptors shooting 55%. We go to the fourth quarter on TSN. Raptors have done a nice job defensively on the Cavs tonight, holding them to 40% from the floor.
Welcome back to Air Canada Center. 76-65. Raptors by 11 heading to the fourth quarter. Our numbers brought to you by MGD.
I'll tell you, Rod, the field goal percentage for the Raptors is excellent, 54%. You got to take a look at the assist numbers. 19 assists to only 10 for Cleveland. The Raptors distributing the basketball and demonstrating great scoring balance in the absence of Chris Bosh.
Fans going crazy here tonight. This should be a Raptors win if they don't blow it in this fourth quarter here. A couple of things could happen as well. Carlos Delfino's only 1 point off a career high. Andrea Bargnani 3 points away from a career high.
Well, both of those players have been very consistent in this ball game, and the key to the fourth quarter is solid defense and command of the backboards. Cleveland can rebound the basketball, but the Raptors have been up to the challenge tonight on the backboards.
Again, an 11-point lead heading to the fourth. Once again, in a raucous Air Canada Center. Let's send it down to Chuck Swirsky and Leo Rauth.
It sounds like Rod Black's calling out the salami and cheese right now. We haven't even played the fourth.
Is he allowed to do that?
Well, I'll tell you what. I called the salami and cheese last night, the Knicks-Boston game, 10 minutes into the game.
That was ugly. It is amazing what's happening in New York, and you have to wonder how long that Knicks organization is going to put up or stay status quo.
And Leah, let me tell you what, our producer Paul Graham, he called the salami and cheese after the anthem. Okay.
Well, Chuck, I've been talking to fans around Canada, and they're saying you're a little slow on the salami and cheese this year. Saying there's like a delay factor.
Being cautious, just cautious.
Fans don't want that, Chuck. They want the aggressive source. They want the source on the edge.
Delfino for three.
Like Delfino, he plays the game on the edge. He doesn't hold back. He's fearless. That's what they want from you, too.
And you know what, Leo? He has a career high now with 20 points. He's 7 of 9 from the floor in 23 minutes. Eric Snow, he got tied up. Oh, Snow, nope. See what the Raptors run here with TJ Ford, who has played 14 minutes off the bench, scoreless, with 6 assists. Ford. Fadeaway jumper, nope. Tip good, Delfino. Boy, the way Delfino's playing, Leo, he and Bargnani have combined for 42.
Well, remember during training camp, Sam Mitchell asked for somebody on the small forward crew to step up and get on the glass, and Delfino answered that call.
Well, Carlos Delfino, 8 of 10 from the floor. He has been everywhere, knocking down threes, tips.
Well, he's not a spectator. You could see that TJ Ford was taking an off-balance shot. He went for the rebound.
Raptors up by 16. Come back, Chuck Swirsky, Leo Rums, our Sprite impact player.
Well, you got a few choices on the floor, but how about Carlos Delfino? Coming off the bench for the Toronto Raptors, had 15 points in the first half and stepping up again in the second half. Long three-pointers. He's taking charges, get to the offensive glass. You can't ask for more than he's given this evening for the Raptors. 22 points, 8 of 10, 4 of 5 from 3. Also had time to rake in 5 boards.
I'd say he was worth two second-round picks.
Yeah, not bad. And that's if you get a career high, you get this Sprite impact. It's a guarantee.
It is a guarantee. So you've got Capoto, Delfino, Bargnani, Ford, and Desarevich. Ilgauskas with only 6 points and 3 rebounds. And TJ Ford comes away with a steal. He's going to take it right at Gibson with a runner. And for TJ Ford, his first bucket in 15 minutes.
And that was a good move for Ford. Just take it right at Gibson. Gibson complaining that Rasho Desarevich kicked the ball when he tried to get through, and it looked like he did.
This is a 7-0 run to start the fourth quarter for the Raptors. Slashing inside, Pavlovic, Gibson giving it up. Damon Jones as TJ Ford flew by. And a missed 3 ball with the Cavaliers tonight are only 5 of 15. Delfino to the rim with a finger roll. You can get out the salami and cheese, mama. This ball game is over. How's that, Leo? That's with 9.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, and a 20-point difference in the game. Way to step up to the plate, big fella. Wow.
I'd say I have the onions. Okay?
No, you haven't been accused of that.
There's Pavlovic. I mean, you can't. You're not going to blow a 20-point fourth quarter lead with LeBron James in street clothes.
The Raptors are playing well, Chuck. They're playing together, moving the ball. They're tightening things up defensively. Remember, Cleveland shot great in the first quarter. They're shooting 38% right now. Raptors just not giving them the same opportunities.
Gibson, Pavlovic squares up and drains the 3.
Well, except for those last 2 by Pavlovic. And you got to realize who the shooters are. Damon Jones is struggling. Gibson is a guy that can get it going, but Pavlovic is a consistent scorer.
8:40 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Raps are in Washington, D.C. tomorrow to take on the Wizards. Delfino with 24 in the ball game, a career high. 7 on the shot clock. TJ Ford gives it up. Andrea Bargnani, the soft jumper won't fall. And here come the Cavaliers trying to chip away the Raptor lead. Gooden. He's got a double-double. Gibson. Ilgauskas in the putback. Nope. And it went off. Ilgauskas out of bounds. They had some good looks.
You have to feel for the Cavaliers right now, and Coach Mike Brown. They're just laboring offensively, Chuck. There's no easy shots. And when LeBron James not able to play, you don't get those easy looks. And how about Pinball Clemens in the house?
Now, there was a news report that he was going to make an announcement today regarding news. He goes, no, maybe something next week. But, you know, he's got the look of like a top executive with the Argonauts. That's just my opinion, Leo.
He's an inspirational guy.
I don't think he's going to coach.
He's a value to not only an athletic organization, but a corporation with his positive mentality, his leadership skills.
There's a 3 by Damon Jones.
You can't relax. Sam Mitchell does not want to let these Cavs back in the game, especially you got the slammy and cheese out. He wants to make sure that the Raptors don't give up the open looks.
85-73 Raptors, 7:38 to go, fourth quarter. All-time coaches wins coming into tonight's ball game with Sam Mitchell with 115, Letty Wilkins 113, then Butch Carter, Darrell Walker, Kevin O'Neal, and Brendan Malone. And our Ford Coach's Edge featuring Sam Mitchell. He's got a report on the Cavaliers. He was very concerned about those drawing kicks.
Well, he also talked about take charges, but when you take LeBron James out of the mix, it changes a little bit because he's the guy that's always trying to get in the paint, get as deep as he can. The Raptors have done a decent job here on the glass as well. LeBron James nursing that injured left hand. And you know what, Chuck? The elves are here.
Yes.
To make sure that gifts are for you. Many, many gifts, Chuck. All kinds of gifts. You have fans everywhere, and just want to make sure that you get enough for Christmas this year. I heard there's a lot of bobbleheads and a lot of stockings this year. The top.
Calderon. Nope. Raps have gone cold, and Cleveland has stayed hot.
How about this lineup for the Raptors, Chuck? You know, outside of Anthony Parker, who is a sort of international player, you have an international lineup out there. An Argentinian, Spaniard, Italian, Slovenian, and a drive to the bucket for Jones. Raptors got to tighten things up.
Well, Cavaliers have scored 10 straight points.
Well, and again, you don't want to allow clean drives to the hoop. Raptors are taking those away and open jump shots. That's what's hurting them right now.
Andrea Bargnani. He has been terrific tonight with 22. Meantime, Calderon with his 10th assist. You can give him now 47 in his last 4 games. Is that impressive or what, Leo?
Big time numbers.
Pavlovic, no. Rebound, Anthony Parker. A double-double for Calderon, 11 points and 10 assists. So Andrea Bargnani with a season high of 22. Stops on a dime. Short. Kept alive by Nesterovic into the arms of Daniel Gibson.
Again, Andrea should not be afraid to put the ball on the floor, go a little deeper against Ilgauskas instead of just taking that jump shot. But Chuck, just as a further comment as far as how the game, or how far the game has come in terms of international players, not only the 4 and the 4 for the Raptors, you have Ilgauskas and Pavlovic on the floor for Cleveland. 6 out of 10 players.
Bargnani. That's a long 2. Andrea Bargnani with 25. And that is a career high for Andrea Bargnani. Well, what's going to happen, Leo? I think with the success of the Raptors, we're going to have more teams spend money on international scouting. And I'm not only talking about what's going on in Europe. I'm talking about China. I'm talking about Africa.
Oh, no question. I mean, international scouting has to become a major part of every NBA team's scouting development. And there you go. Nice job by Bargnani, able to take that long jump shot wide open. And nobody enjoys seeing Bargnani have success more than Maurizio Ghirardini.
Yep. One of the classiest men, Leo, I think I've ever met in or out of basketball.
But Chuck, there's not a, to tell you talk about international scouting, there's not an international player in this league that when they see Maurizio, they almost bow to him out of respect because of the influence he's had on so many careers coming to the NBA.
It's a rare Jose Calderon turnover leading to a bucket by the Cavaliers with 4:25 to go in an 89-77 Raptor lead.
Oh, it's amazing, Chuck. Calderon's got 10 assists in this game and 3 turnovers. That's a great night. Yeah. But for Calderon, you're going, what happened? What's going on? He's got 3 turnovers. How can a guy have 3 turnovers? Tells you how well he's been playing.
True, it's interesting. I was on the plane with him about a week ago, and he had like a ridiculous 9 assists, 1 turnover game. Went to him to congratulate him. He goes, I want to talk about that turnover.
That's what great players do, Chuck. They're not happy. They're not satisfied. They want to continually get better and eliminate all the mistakes in their game.
Raptors out rebounding. Cavaliers 39-36. We have 3.5 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter in Toronto. Calderon kept off the baseline by Gibson. Bargnani with 4 ticks on the shot clock. Parker, the long 3, raised the iron.
Sam Mitchell wanted that ball to move. When Andrea caught at the top, he wanted that ball swung across to Parker right away. Andrea held it for a while and then moved it. You don't want to hang on to that ball. Don't let the defense lock in and be able to step out and take shots away from you.
Damon Jones with only 8 points in the ball game. Far cry from what occurred on Saturday afternoon in Cleveland. Pavlovic.
Remember, in that Cleveland game, a lot of those shots came early. Raptors had a nice they were doing a good job. All of a sudden, they just gave up one open shot after another to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And that's when you had guys like Damon Jones that had been struggling. All of a sudden, they knock down a couple open shots, and they're feeling it, and it changes the game. And that pretty much went across the board for the Cavs.
Funny what happens when LeBron James is on the floor, huh?
Well, you just get open shots. You get easy shots. And then add in the presence of Ilgauskas. Remember, they have a big rematch with the Boston Celtics coming up.
After they beat Boston in Cleveland. Calderon, long board comes out to good. As we near the 2-minute mark here at the Air Canada Center, Daniel Gibson drains a 3. Gibson with 22. He's played well tonight.
Yeah, he has, Chuck. He's been shooting the ball well all season long. And again, without LeBron James, 22 points, 7 assists in this game. And he's shooting a good percentage. He's been shooting well from 3 and from the field all season.
Deep in the shot clock again. Delfino forces it up, hit glass, and a 24-second violation. This is a 9-point ball game. The Raptors at one stage led by 20. We have a $1:39 to go, fourth quarter from Toronto on TSN. Our MGD smooth play of the game. And this is Jamario Moon. Now they called traveling on that.
But it was so smooth that we used it anyway.
And the numbers for Jamario Moon. I love the rebound.
Well, this is the way this guy has played so far in this early season. 9 points, 9 rebounds, and a couple of block shots. Decent percentage. He just comes to play, and the block shots are just so important. Keeping the offense in check. Always looking to help out.
Don't forget, coming up after the ball game, Molson's That Hockey and with Gino Evans. Yeah, you talk about Moon, Leo. He's averaging close to 9 rebounds a game over the last 3.
Well, he's one of those players that always is going for the ball. He's not standing around. He's not watching the game. He's always looking to see where he can get involved, where he can get a rebound at either end of the floor.
Gibson forced that one up as the clock definitely on the Raptors side here. 89-80 Toronto.
Well, Rasho Nesterovic got that rebound, Chuck. 9 boards in the game. Yeah. And again, think about that game Ilgauskas had. 15 rebound game, only 6 here tonight.
Delfino, Parker. Turnaround jumper. Well, the Raptors will board a flight for Washington, D.C. in about 90 minutes or so. Get ready for the Wizards. Wizards playing tonight. Leo, we have a lot of action tonight going on in the NBA. In fact, the Knicks, speaking of the Knicks, they're trailing Milwaukee at home by 14. We've got Calderon. Cross it over Gibson. Comes up shooting. Nope. Rebound Gooden. Our Gatorade Game X Factor, I selected Devin Brown, and good pick for Leo Rautins. Going with Carlos Delfino.
You don't have to be a brain surgeon to see how well this guy's been playing. 24 points, career high for Carlos Delfino.
So Delfino with 24. We'll be back for the final 23 seconds in a moment. And our next 3 games right here. You've got TSN tomorrow with the Wizards and the Raptors. Rogers Sports at HD against the Bobcats on Monday. And the Phoenix Suns on TSN with Captain Canada Steve Nash coming to Toronto for his only visit at 7 o'clock on Wednesday. LeBron James, a no-go tonight. Chris Bosh, a no-go for the Raptors. 2 All-Stars who lit it up Saturday in Cleveland.
Oh, it makes it a little easier to sit out when your team is able to come up with a W, and Chris Bosh has to be proud of his team's effort, Chuck. Everybody who came in this game performed. And not only did you get performances from all the guys you do expect to step up and play, but TJ Ford got some valuable minutes in his first game back after being out with the stinger. And TJ Ford in this ball game, 6 assists, so had a chance to get a feel for it, get the legs underneath him again. Jose Calderon, another strong game. There's TJ. Obviously would have liked to probably have played some more minutes and felt a little bit more comfortable with a shot, but Sam Mitchell not in any hurry to force TJ into playing. He knows what he can do. He's comfortable what he can do, and TJ will get back on track and get extended minutes as it goes along.
Yeah, and Lear, this is the first game of 3 games in 4 nights. So I mean,
No
he
rush.
is going to get. That's right. He's going to get some time. Raptors take a 20-second timeout, 89-82. Well, the Raptors are going to go to 2 games over the 500 mark, go to over 500 at home, which is good news because they started a little bit shaky here on their home floor.
No, definitely, and that's where it's so important for Raptors to get that comfort level again at home, which they had last season. Tremendous at home.
And a reminder, with the Bobcats coming to town on Monday, the first 10,000 fans receive a TJ Ford bobblehead doll. All you have to do is go to Raptors.com for ticket information.
Now, does his bobblehead talk like yours?
No.
So I don't have any conversations?
Tomorrow, the Washington Wizards with Caron Butler. And we understand it is now a final. The Wizards lost at Philadelphia.
You talk about a player playing good basketball. Caron Butler has been playing very, very well in the absence of Gilbert Arenas, Antoine Jameson, Antonio Daniels.
Had a triple-double a few games back. Calderon has to burn a timeout. We aren't going anywhere, Leo.
Well, good defense by the Cavaliers, not allowing an entry pass. Sam Mitchell have an opportunity to draw it up again. Mike Brown using these opportunities as every coach does, Chuck. Game's not over yet. Get that chance to work on little things, details that can help you in a winnable game down the road.
Molson, that's Hockey with Gino, coming up next. Available on TSN HD. Well, I'm anxious to see the Raps and Wizards tomorrow, Leo, because even though Gilbert Arenas is not in the mix, out for 3 months after undergoing knee surgery, they still have a lot of firepower. The question is, can they defend?
Oh, well, actually, in some ways, they may be able to defend better. I think the scoring aspect of their team may be a little bit challenged right now without Gilbert Arenas, but defensively, remember, Gilbert Arenas was not exactly one of the staples of the defensive end of the game for them.
So this is going to put Anthony Parker at the free throw line. With 14.3 seconds remaining. If this is the first of the last 2 minutes, they shouldn't be shooting free throws. So you've got Bosch right now, question mark, Leo, would you say? Or?
I think the Raptors will err on the side of caution here, Chuck. They'll take a few extra days with Chris Bosch just to make sure that he doesn't aggravate. Their groin injury is a very sensitive injury, Chuck. If you aggravate it, it could be something that carries on all season long. So you really want to make sure that the next time he steps on the floor, the injury's under control.
After the ball game with Washington, Bobcats on Monday, Phoenix on Wednesday before Boston at Boston a week from tonight. Chris Bosch.
Well, you look at his numbers over his career in the NBA, very durable player. And, you know, some of those injuries, the Raptors, again, very cautious. They took a little bit extra time to make sure that Bosch would heal properly and not, you know, have any injuries that would extend beyond what they should. But here's a guy that he's a competitor. He comes to play every single night, takes care of his body in the offseason, does all the little things that a pro has to do to be durable, to be a guy that can be an 82-game player.
So Sam Mitchell going with essentially an 8-man rotation. Humphries did come in for 1 minute.
Short stay, and Sam, as we often see with Humphries, you're not sure exactly what kind of minutes he'll play, but Humphries, fortunately, is the type of player that will give you some type of a positive response for whatever you choose to play him.
91-82. Raptors. This has been the longest 16 seconds. For the final 13 seconds of the ball game, and a reminder tomorrow, Raptors and Wizards at 7 o'clock. President's Choice Raptors Bowl on TSN. Gibson, that shot blocked by Calderon. And this ball game is over. Raptors win, Raptors win, Raptors win 91-82 over the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, Mike Brown looking for a call there, Chuck. Raptors without Chris Bosh, Cavaliers without LeBron James. Toronto, their depth proving to be the difference in this ball game.
And our O. Henry Pro Player of the Game. And let's give it up for Andrea Bargnani, El Mago. He had it going tonight. Beautiful stroke.
Got 26 points, 2 of 4 from behind the arc, also 6 rebounds, but the career high for Andrea Bargnani. Remember, took that hit in the knee against Memphis Wednesday night, but he's bounced back strong in this game, trying to be aggressive early on without Chris Bosh. Set the tone for the Raptors at the offensive end of the floor. Normally a face-up player, also had some opportunities in the post, but you catch this guy in transition, especially from that trailer spot, he will bury the jumper.
Give credit to his teammates as well. Our final stats brought to you by MGD. They look for Bargnani.
They really do. Raptors also look to pick up their defense a little bit. Cavs below 40% in this game. Raptors out rebounding the Cavs as well.
So a good night for the Raptors in the win column. We want to thank all the men and women in the truck for making our broadcast possible. Paul Graham, Troy Clara, Matt Bloom, John Russin, Linda Moore, Ashley Boland, as the Raptors take on the Wizards tomorrow in Washington, D.C. But for tonight, it was Bargnani, it was Delfino, it was Calderon as the team stepped up. For Leo Mountains, Chuck Swirsky, and Rod Black and Brian Heaney, it's been a pleasure. We have Sports Center coming up on TSN. It's been a pleasure.